I'm going to be continuing the tutorial for the boat. So what we're going to have to do first is we are going to have to work on the engines. For this, we're going to be doing a we're going to be doing a T12, which is the just this with these, except not flattened, not up, but wait, did I miss? Yeah, I messed that up. There, this is what I'm going to be doing for my modular engine that's going to be powering these water jets. So, once I do this, you have to put these on. I do it like this because it looks better. You guys don't have to, I just think it looks better because, well, it looks more like an engine. Then for back here, you need a modular engine clutch. Depends on what size you're using. You're going to have to use a 5x5, a 3x3, or a normal 1x1, which in case we are going to be using. Connect the water jet up to the clutch. We're building 2 of them if you can't see through the symmetry mode. For the exhaust, we're going to be using, we have to use the modular engine exhaust pipe, which will, and for this we're going to be using the catalytic converter to get rid of some of the smoke produced by this engine. In order for the smoke to actually leave the boat, we are going to have to put a fluid port at the bottom so the smoke can leave the boat. For this water jet, we have to also make it so we can have water entering the water jet in order for it to function. So we are putting a fluid port down, and then we are going to be putting a connection to the water jet. For the air, we are going to be, you have to use the modular air manifold. We are going to be running this to the top, and then I usually like going up one so then it's there. Okay, so then you can keep this place watertight. Use a watertight block, which is a pipe. Bring this up just a tad bit, and then add a ram, an air ram. Once that's on, now the engine will have connection towards water. Now it'll have connection towards water, which you would spit the exhaust out into, water for the water jet, and air for the main engine itself. Then what you would like to do is you want to grab a modular engine fuel manifold. What I'm doing right now is I'm just going to be running this straight into a tank, so then you don't have to make one of those fluid tanks itself. I'm going to be making that in my next video, or part 3. Large tank is what we're going to be using. Which in some areas you're going to have to make it so it's like this, then connect it up with the pipe. There. Now the engine will have connection to the tanks for the fuel. We have to start this thing up. How we're going to do this is we need a modular engine belt. There. We have our modular engine belt. The thing that will power it is the modular engine starter. We're going to be using 2 of them because it would be harder on the main engine in order to run. That's the basic structure of the engine except for the cooling, but for the cooling you need a coolant manifold. Place it under here. It has to go on the cylinder, not on the what is it called? The crankshaft, but on the cylinder itself. We're going to be using 1 pump. This is just going to be a quick little pump, nothing too crazy. So, there. That'll cause it to go in. And then we're going to have to put yet another port down so then we can have access to water for the main coolant. We also have to make a water exit so then it can continue to cool. With us using seawater, it will cause scaling inside of the engine, which will then cause it to lose performance. So, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using something called the ZE Modular Engine Controller. I forgot who it was made by, but I will try to put a link to it in the description. So what you want to do is just get all these here. So with this, it says crankshaft RPS, connect that to the RPS of the crankshaft on each engine. Grab the fuel manifold and then run it to the one that says fuel manifold. Where's the fuel manifold? Right here? Yep. There. Now grab the air manifold and run it to the air manifold. With the dynamic switch, I don't do anything, but for the desired RPS, this is going to go to your throttle on each one. We're going to have this running to each starter value. And then this will also go to your key, toggle button, push to toggle, whatever. We're going to set up a quick, well, we also have to go in, so then go into composite, match up your cylinders with the composite data of the cylinder of the modular engine. In theory, if we fire this up, it should all work. So we're just going to toss down a toggle button, 2 throttles, one for the modular engine clutch and one for the engine itself. Okay, so then what you want to do is grab the throttle. This one is going to be to clutch pressure. So then type in clutch. You don't have to do this, it just makes it easier to understand what you're doing. Then this is just engine throttle, so you can leave it how it is. Okay, there we go, on each one. Then we have our toggle button, which will then go to everything. Okay, we need a battery in order to actually start up the thing, so we're going to have a small battery that will then power everything that you see in this in the engine build area. Connect it to everything, including the rudders. We're just going to see if it actually runs, so let's spawn her in. This dock base is the Arctic Remodel 2.0, I believe. Okay, so and it in fact runs. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Did I do something wrong? Yep, it works. Okay, so now we need to add a seat. Just a normal seat, doesn't matter what. And then we're going to connect the W and A, well not W and A, the A and D value up to the rudders. Okay. Now, spawn it back in, and we should, in theory, have control, and if we don't, something's inverted on this ship. Ah, I missed. So, let's first start her up. Bring up the engine throttle. Okay. Engage the clutch just a little bit, and it seems to actually be running. It's the first time I've actually been able to get those running first try. Oh, let me turn off player damage. Let's engage the clutch a little bit more. And we have a little more speed now. So, this has been how you would create a... Well, this is how I actually would create a boat with water jets and a modular engine. Next video, we are going to be working on, of course, the custom fuel tank and the superstructure of this ship. So, with that, I would have to say goodbye, everyone. Bye.